Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be looking at a brief introduction to branching and Gitignore in Git. These are the contents for this video. We'll be looking at branching, creating branches, merging. We'll be also looking at a quick introduction to merge conflicts. We'll also be looking at what is Gitignore and looking at uses of Gitignore. So branching. Branching is a powerful feature in Git that is used to maintain and develop different versions of the main code, each of which may cater to a specific problem, feature, or an issue. You create a copy of the main branch and make modification to that as it's required. The change you do in branch 1, say, will not affect the code in the main branch. And once you have finalized what the kind of changes that you need to make and make sure everything is properly working, then you can choose to actually merge it into the main branch. So this way you organize and maintain your code in a more efficient and clean manner. Now such a feature is very helpful when working with a team, where many people may be working on different functionality at the same time, and finally for the stable version of the software that you're working on, everybody can merge into the main branch and then finally deploy it if required. Now let us look at some commands in the Git CLI that is related to creating and working with branches. First, we have creating a new branch, which is git checkout -b. -b basically says that if the branch does not exist yet, create the branch and the new branch name finally. We can also navigate to a branch using git checkout without the b flag and then typing in an existing branch name. We can also merge the branch using git merge and the branch to merge. One thing to note is that this command should be executed from the main branch. So what I mean by main branch here is the parent branch that it was originally branched from. And finally, we have deleting a branch, where we use git branch and the d flag to delete a branch. Now keep in mind that there might be alternative commands to some of these commands mentioned here, but then they're essentially the same functionality using a different method. So any of the commands really work. Let us now look at a quick demo for branching. Currently I'm in the master branch. Let us create a new branch called as demo branch. So git checkout -b. Remember the flag b basically creates the branch. Let us call it demo branch. Now we are already in the, as you can see here, we are already in the demo branch. So currently the contents in the demo branch is the same as master. So let's look at what is there in the demo branch. We see file1.txt and code.py. So let us look at file1.txt. We see that there is 4 lines of text here. So let us do one thing. Let us add another additional line of text in the demo branch. Now if we look at the contents of file1.txt, we see that the 5th line has been added. However, this change is still untracked. So let us git add everything. This is the shortcut for git add everything. And then let's do a git commit. So the commit message will be added 5th line. Now keep in mind that the changes that we did was only in the demo branch, and now that I have switched to the master branch, if we look at file1.txt, we see that there is only 4 lines. So the changes that we made was only reflected in the demo branch. Let us switch to the demo branch again. And now if we have a look at file1.txt again, we see that we have the 5th line of text here. Good. Now that we have introduced a change to the file1.txt, let us merge it into the master branch. So first we have to check out to the master branch, and then finally git merge. So we see that fast forward file1.txt, one file change and one insertion. Now if we have a look at file1.txt, we see that the fifth line of text has been added in the master branch. One small thing to note is that the git merge command has an alternative called as git rebase, which basically serves the same purpose, except it also maintains the commit logs in the other branch. Now let us just go through the quick process of creating a branch, making changes in the new branch, and then merging it into the main branch. Except this time we'll be using git rebase just for the sake of the demo. So first I use git checkout and the branch name. So I'm gonna call this as demo 2. Now that I'm in the demo 2 branch, let us just add another line to the file1.txt. So echo this is from the branch demo 2. If we look at cat file1.txt, we see that the sixth line, which is this is from the branch demo 2, has been added. Now GA star basically adds all the files to the staging area, and then git commit added a new line of text once again. So now that we've committed all the changes to the demo 2 branch, let us go back to the main branch, which in this case is master branch. So we use git checkout master branch, and now instead of git merge, I'll be using git rebase. So git rebase demo 2. So the moment we do demo 2, successfully rebased and updated the master branch. Now if we do git log, it actually shows us all the changes made, and then added a new line of text once again, which was the which was done in the demo 2 branch, and this was also added in the master branch. Now that we've used the branches demo and demo 2 and merged, we don't really have a purpose for the branches anymore. So it is always a good idea to maintain our code base and delete unneeded branches. First, let us have a look at the branches that we have with using git branch. We see that we have demo, demo 2 and master. I press on the Q button and then I come out of this window. Now I want to delete those branches. So git branch deflag and then demo. Same thing again for the next one. Now if we have a look at the branches that is present, we see that there is only master branch, which is what we want. Now that we have a good idea of how merging and branching works in Git, let us look at this concept called as merge conflicts, which can occur when two branches basically have conflicting changes. When merging, it is expected that there is no new changes have been made to the original file in the parent branch. In cases where changes have been made, it will result in what we call as merge conflicts. Unfortunately, there is no simple way around merge conflicts, and it can get quite complicated with bigger code bases, and as more users are involved, as more developers are involved. So that is why it is always a good idea to prevent any chances of merge conflicts by taking the latest revision of the parent branch for making modifications. That way you completely eliminate the chance of having any merge conflicts at all. Here in this demo, we have a very simple demonstration of what a merge conflict looks like. Currently I am in the master branch, and so when I look at the contents of file1.txt, we see that in the last line this is a commit from the master branch. Now I check out into the merge conflicts demo branch, and then if I look at the contents of file1 in the new branch, there is a different different content here. Now if I go back to master and try to rebase it and basically merge the merge conflict demo branch into the master branch, we see that auto merging failed. There is a conflict in the content, and merge conflict is in file1.txt, and it's going to say so and so is the issue. Now we are not going to go into how we can resolve merge conflicts because that is beyond the scope of this video. But it is something that you as students that will be using the Git versioning system need to be aware of. And always, it is always a good idea to prevent merge conflicts by always taking the latest copy of the parent branch. Next, we'll be looking at what .gitignore is in the Git versioning system. So Gitignore is a special type of text file that is used to list files in the directory that need not be tracked by the Git version control system. This is helpful when you have information that is sensitive or valuable. Say for example, stuff like API keys, passwords, environment secrets, stuff like that. It is also helpful when you have dependency files that will unnecessarily eat up your repository. What I mean by dependency files is something like node modules, Python virtual environments and whatnot. Now this is especially important for the students who are doing the app dev project, because especially the Python environment and node modules will take up a lot of space, and as we all know, the limit for the file uploading is only 25 MB. So hence it is important that we eliminate all of these extra unnecessary files in order to keep the file size minimum. Let us look at a very simple demonstration of the Gitignore functionality. Now I have two files in this folder. One is code.py and file.txt. I'm going to create another file called as password.txt, which has some sort of secret. This is a password and should not be tracked. Now we see that this is considered as an untracked change now. So if I do git status, we see that untracked files password.txt, but I don't want this to be part of the Git versioning system, in which case I'll have to create another file called as Gitignore. So nano.gitignore basically creates the Gitignore file. Keep in mind that the dot in the beginning is important. So nano.gitignore, and the file I want to hide in this case is password.txt. So password.txt is what I'm going to add here. I'm going to save it and exit from it. Now if I do git status, we see that in the untracked files there is only Gitignore, and password.txt is not included in the list of untracked changes. But if you look at it, password.txt is still in the directory. What this essentially means is that password.txt is exempt from the Git version controlling system, because we have mentioned in the Gitignore file that password.txt should not be tracked. It is also possible to add directories here directly. So a directory is added like this. We can add other files as well, like line by line. We can also use regex to mention what kind of files need to be ignored. So Gitignore is, it's quite robust and quite helpful. Feel free to go and have a look at how Gitignore works. I've only given you a very simple demonstration of how things work. Yeah, one more thing. So when you add git add, so dot files are ignored by default. So git add dot gitignore should be added manually, and then so after that we can commit added gitignore. So that is one thing that that was overlooked. But yes, dot files are not usually added by default in the using the add star command. So you have to add it manually basically. So that would be about it for the demo regarding Gitignore and merging in Git. So in the next video we'll be looking at milestones for MAD1 and MAD2 projects, which is going to be quite an important video. So please be on the lookout for that. And thank you for watching this video.